Yo my people, SidhuJr here, back with another video and back with talking points. And before we get started, yes, I'm wearing a puffer in my own yard. It's cold, okay? That's why. You know how it goes. First game of the game week, 12:30 kickoff was Crystal Palace at home to Liverpool. I'll win! I saw Arne Slot's big, beautiful, bold head in real life. And the biggest talking point from this game, it was a very calm, controlled performance from Liverpool, which is something we're getting very used to this season. Coming from a man who's watched Klopp ball for the last 9 years, calm and controlled, not a part of Liverpool's DNA for the last 10 years. We have never been able to see a game out convincingly. When Palace went to attack, I never once thought, well, we're going to concede. Our defence is looking very strong at the moment. Conceding 2 goals in the Prem in 7 games is unheard of. And the other talking point is that Palace will be fine. Watching them in real life made me realise they're going to be fine. The table says they're playing bad. Not really, like they're playing good football. Liverpool didn't really create too many clear-cut chances. Even the goal, like it was a ball down the line, across in the box, and Jota got in front of his man. It was a very good performance from Palace as well. There's a lot of positives to take, even though ultimately you didn't come with any points. It was a good performance, man. They'll pick up points. They'll be fine. The next game was Arsenal 3, Southampton 1, and the biggest talking point of this game is that you need to put some respect on Bukayo Saka's name. It's time. He's been carrying Arsenal for 4 years, which includes the banter era and includes them challenging for the Prem. Since he's 19, he's 23 now. Since 19, he's been carrying a club like Arsenal, scoring the goals, making the goals. It's all been him for 4 years, and people still don't put respect on his name. For England, he delivers. For Arsenal, he delivers. I get it, Cole Palmer's a shiny new toy, but please put respect on Saka's name. I get it, it's not pretty, but it's effective. And now at 23, he's gonna carry Arsenal to another title charge where they can win the league this year as well, and he can be the focal point in that attack. And Southampton have just showed us a 101 of how to go straight back down to the Championship, because they only have themselves to blame. How are you 1-0 up as a relegation team? You're 1-0 up away from home against the title challengers. Why the fuck are you playing it out the back? Just keep it compact, boot the ball long. That's how you win games as relegation teams in the Prem. Too many men are trying to pass it out the back. Back in the day, how you set up in the Prem. Kick it long, win the first ball, win the second ball, and just go from there. And now for the best game of the game week, Brentford 5, Wolves 3, and the biggest talking point from the game is that it's the same old story for Wolves. It's been happening all season, game after game. Their attack is fluid, they can score goals. Their defence is a horror show, which you can see by them conceding 5 against Brentford. When you've lost your captain and your best defender late in the window and you didn't replace him, it's going to be long. It's going to be a long season no matter what. And the biggest talking point from the game, in fact, is Fabio Carvalho Hive. We're up. We've done it now. We've scored the first goal of the league campaign, secured the 3 points. 90th minute, long range screamer. It was a tap in. But who cares? He scored. He's made an impact. That's all that mattered. He's got his numbers up for the year, lad. And the next game of the game week is Leicester 1, Bournemouth 0. Leicester getting their first win of the season, and that is thanks to that Buonanotte. Kid looks nice, man. Kid looks class. I saw him play for Brighton last year. He looked slick. He was making nice passes. But that game against Bournemouth, you need to start him now. If Steve Cooper does not start this guy, something is ill in his brain. The performance he showed against Bournemouth, controlled the game, controlled the tempo of the game as a 19-year-old on loan. Not even from the country, he's from Argentina, bro. He doesn't speak English. And it is the same old story for Bournemouth. They can't shoot. They can't finish. It's almost like they're missing a certain someone. And it's almost like they replaced him with a fraud. I'm still on the Evan Nilsson hate train, by the way. That will never leave the station. I will always be on that train. How the fuck has Bournemouth as a team had 15 shots inside the box, inside the 18-yard box? 2 of them are on target. So this striking problem, I told you, if Semenyo has an off day like he did against Leicester, where are the goals coming from? The next game of the game week is Man City 3, Fulham 2, and the biggest talking point has to be Adama Traore. 3 big chances missed, man. He could have scored a hat-trick. He's had to learn how to finish for about 5 years now, and he still hasn't learned it. But hey, he's quick and strong. He starts on most teams in the Prem based off that, doesn't he? And the other talking point of the game is that Man City look poor. Without Rodri, it's not looking good. Gundogan and Kovacic as your double pivot. No defensive awareness, no defensive cover. Teams are running through them. I get it. Fulham are a good team this year. With all due respect, Fulham should not be creating this many chances against Man City. City look bad this year. Whether you want to admit it or not, cool, they're winning games. They haven't lost yet. They look bad. They look poor. The next game of the game week was West Ham 4, Ipswich 1. And the biggest talking point of the game is that it was last ditch for Ipswich. Ipswich, shocking defensive display. horror show from the get-go. West Ham just kind of drifted into their box. Like, it wasn't even they were like getting picked apart by good intricate play. It was more like Bowen, Kudus, Paqueta kind of just ran. Ipswich players just backed off until there was no space, and then they conceded. It could have been like 7-8-1. It was last-ditch defending for Ipswich that saved them. You can't just kind of let players run into the box, especially when they have the quality of Bowen, Kudus and Paqueta. And speaking about Bowen, he is our next talking point, because that performance on the weekend, proper display from a captain. Proper captain's performance, that one. Jared Bowen for West Ham is what you call leading from the front, because he ran that whole game. Whenever West Ham looked like a bit of trouble, pass it to Bowen and all the pressures relieved off. 1 goal and 2 assists on that day. Class from him. Now for the worst game of the game week was Everton 0, Newcastle 0, and what happened? Anthony Gordon missed a pen against his old team. Everton fans found that funny? That's about it. On to Super Sunday now, and the first game was Aston Villa 0, Man United 0, and the biggest talking point from this game is Jadon Philogene. He is the next left winger for England. None of this Foden on the wing. Once we get past that, you put Jadon Philogene there. He cut through United's man like they weren't even there. On his first start from the Championship as like a 20-odd-year-old player. Very good performance, man. Man of the match performance, let's be honest. He ran that game. The next game of the game week was Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and we need to talk about that red card. That is the funniest red card I've ever seen in the Prem. Why has he died on the ball like that? Like, I get it. Nico Jackson was going to take the ball off him, but there were still 2 players there that could have just come in, just cleared the ball. Why have you dived on the ball? It wasn't even a slip. You can't even say, oh, he slipped on the ball. Geezer jumped on the ball. I rate it. At the end of the day, his team still got the point. And the actual talking point from the game is that the keepers both had a masterclass that game. It should have ended like 6-6 with the amount of clear-cut chances the keeper saved. It was unbelievable. Like that last sequence at the end where Sanchez makes a world-class save, and then Mudryk goes up the pitch and plays to Nkuku, and then Sells makes a world-class save. Like, at that point, it should be fair enough, 1-1. Both keepers had an amazing game, which is rare to say for the Forest and Chelsea keepers, because they're both shit usually. Now for the last game of the game week, we have Brighton 3, Tottenham 2, and the biggest talking point from this game is Ballon d'Or Brennan Johnson. It's his time. Give him the award right now. He's scoring 6 for 6 like it's Central C. Since deactivating his social media, he's been on form. And it's not even like he scored a goal and ghosted for the whole game. His link-up play with Kulusevski on the right hand side is very beautiful to watch, and just figured it out attacking anyway. And the other talking point of the game is that there was only one man responsible really for that comeback against Tottenham, and that was their new signing Jorginho Rutter. 1 goal, 1 assist, and what a goal. What an assist it was. The goal, he gets barged off the ball, off balance, and he still hits it bottom corner. The assist, he's like sliding on his weaker foot, and he manages to get the accuracy and the height in the air for Danny Welbeck to just literally stand and go like, bang. Into the goal you go. Finally found his feet a few games in, but now João Pedro's injured, he's got a run on the side, and look how he's performing. Single-handedly got them the 3 points this week. That's the video done for today. I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit, man. Love.